Hello everyone, welcome to my channel guys. In previous video guys, I explained you about how to create IAM user. I created one user and I assigned one passport, auto-generated passport to that user. And I attached one AWS managed policy. I attached one policy to that user like PC2 full access and S3 full access like that policies I attached already created policies default to AWS managed policies I attached to that user and I log in with that user and I cross checked whether it is working or not. I cross checked whether it is working with that properties with that policies or not, guys. Now coming to this video guys, in this video I'm going to teach you here in the previous two cases we are used AWS we are used AWS managed policies, right? AWS, whatever policies we have in AWS, we are using that policies. AWS managed policies we used in the previous two videos experiment. In this tutorial, in this video, I will show you how to create our own policy, guys. How to create our own policy, how to create our own policies with our own permissions, with our own permissions, with our own permissions like allow options and deny options, allow options and deny options with our own policy, with our own permissions like allow and deny. Now I will show you how to create our own policy and how to attach whatever policy we got created here, right? Existing policies, whatever policies we created here, that I will attach to the our own user. Whatever user we are going to create in IAM module, for this user, I am going to attaching this own policies, whatever policy we created before, right? That policy I am going to attach this user and I am going to cross check whether that user is whether that user is working with that policies or not. Whether that user is working with proper permissions or not, that I will cross check here. And in previous cases, guys, in while creating user, I attached automatic generated passport by AWS. Automatic generated passport I attached, right? Automatic generated passport here I shown you, but in this video I will show you how to create our own passport, and without new user login we can use this own passport, guys, without AWS generating is their own passport. Here I am using my own passport and I am logging with my own passport. That is the theme here I am going to show you in practical way. This is the agenda for today's class. Here I am going to create my own policy and I will attach whatever permission I need to attach for this policy. I am going to attach that policies, and this policy, whatever policy we got created here, that policy I am going to attach to this user, guys. To this user I'm going to attach this policy and I will cross check whether it is working with efficiently with our own permissions or not. That I will check it and I will show you guys. Let's move to our AWS console management, guys. Let's move to this is the AWS management console, whatever I created, right? Now I am moving to this IAM module resources, guys. I am moving this IAM module. Now I am moving to IAM module. Now now I am in the IAM dashboard here. Now I am in the IAM dashboard. Now Here in the left side, you can find here user groups, so users. Here, here you can find that user groups, users, roles, policies, right? Here, I will go to this policy option. I will go to this policy option, and now I create my new own policy. I will create now. Now I will show you. I am clicking that policy. I am clicking that policy. Here, see guys, here in the all the type of policies, here if I will show you that, here we have here we have customer managed policy and AWS managed job function policy and AWS managed policy, guys. In previous two videos, I used this AWS managed policies. I doesn't created any customer. If you click customer, these are the when I worked with the AWS, I created. These are the our own custom policies, right? Now, I am going to show you how to create our own policy with our own permissions, guys. Here, here you can find the right side top, you can find that create policy option you can find here. You just click that option called create policy. Create a policy, just click that. Here, here it is asking that what service you need to for create policy. For which service you need to create a policy, it is asking. Here I am choosing that. I am choosing that for S3. For example, I am choosing this S3 service I am choosing. This is the policy I am creating with my own permissions I am creating. Here, here it is showing that effect option is there, right? Here it is showing that effect option. Here it is showing allow, but now I will turn it to Denny option, guys. By default, it is showing allow option, but now I will turn it to Denny option. Then I will execute this policy. Then I will create. I am clicking this Denny option here. I am clicking this Denny option here, and I am scrolling. Whatever in S3 all actions in S3 all actions I need to deny for the for this policy, guys. Whatever policy I am creating for S3 policy, whatever policy I am creating for this service, I am denying all the resource, I mean all the actions like list actions, reading, permissions, so writing, all actions I am denying for this policy, whatever policy I am creating. Here, resources also, here resources also, I am mentioning the all, guys. Here, resources also, I am mentioning the all for all resources and all permissions that I am denying. I am denying is nothing but not allowing. Opposite to the allow is called denying, guys. I'm denying all the permissions and all the resources related to S3 service. Related to related to S3 service, I am clearing the all related to S3 service, guys. I am denying the all the actions, whatever we can perform in S3. I am denying the all the actions here. And after denying the all the actions, at the bottom, if you scroll down to the bottom, in right side you will get next option, right? Here you will see next option. I am clicking that next option. Here, policy name, it is asking policy name I have to mention. Here it is asking the policy name. Here I am mentioning the policy name as S3 S3 Denny S3 Denny policy. This is the my policy name, guys. This is your own, guys. Whatever name you want to give for this policy, you can mention as your wish. This is the my name I am mentioning. For example, S3 Denny policy I am creating, and the description is optional, guys. You can mention description, or else you can leave the description also. Description is nothing but whatever you are performing, just you are mentioning. Yeah, I am creating one policy. For that policy, I am assigning that S3 service deny actions. For all S3 deny actions, I am assigning. Like that, you can mention in description also. For and the description is optional. Even though if you not mention any line here, we can also move to scroll down. Scroll down. It is showing that service is S3 and access is a full access and resources all resources. Request condition is none. Here, here I am scrolling down. These are the tags, guys. Tags also optional here. Tags is nothing but metadata. Metadata. If I say, for example, now today date, you take date as a colon, on which date date you can mention, in which date you are creating this policy, and reason. You take one heading called reason, for what reason you are creating, and the resource. If you take, for example, resource as heading, for which service or which resource you are creating this policy. This is the metadata for understanding. For understanding purpose, we can use metadata also, or you can leave this metadata also, guys. This is optional. This is optional. You can skip this also. You can skip this also. And after scrolling down, you can see that create policy option. You can see here, right side, create policy. Then you click create a policy. It is creating. See, guys, the policy S3 Denny, the name I mentioned here, S3 Denny policy, it got created, guys. It got created. Now, if you check in the place of policies, in the place of policies, if you check here a filter by type, I am filtering customer managed policy. Customer managed policy. See, guys, this is the policy what we created right now. This is the policy, whatever what now we created S3 Denny policy. This comes under customer managed policy. Customer managed policy is nothing but this is our own policy created by our own with our own permissions. Now, now I will attach. I hope you got it. How to create your own policy with your own permissions for whatever service you want to provide policy. This is the S3 Denny policy, guys. Now, now what I will do here it is, now I will create one user. Now I will create one user and I will attach this policy, this S3 Denny policy. I will attach here. Here I created one new policy, right? That policy I am going to attach for this user, whatever user I am creating here, for this user, I am going to attach this policy, existing policy right now I created. And I will log in with this new user and I will log in with this new user, whatever user I created right now. And after logging that new user, I will check the permissions. I will check the permissions whether the permissions is working or not. Here, policy is nothing but a set of permissions, right? Here I provided one permission called S3 Denny policy. In this S3 Denny, what permissions I provided here? What permissions I provided? Denny permission, Denny permission I gave to S3 Denny policy on S3 service. On S3 service, I provided Denny permission on S3 service. What it will do means it will Denny the S3 service completely for this user. For this user, it will deny the S3 service completely. Whatever actions we selected, I mean, I selected all actions, right? All the actions, it will deny for this user on the S3 service. That here we have to check that the permission is working or it is allowing or it is denying, we have to check. Suppose if it is showing that deny means we did all the process in correct manner. Suppose it is not denying and if it is allowing means we did something wrong in the creation of policy. I hope you got it, what how exactly this policy is going to work. Now I will create one user. Here in the left side you can see that user users, right? You click this user and you click that user. Here you can see that create user you can see. I am clicking the create user. Here user name it is asking. I am providing S3 Denny user. Why I am using like these names means based on the scenario, based on our concept, I am using these names. Then you can understand what exactly this user is. S3 Denny user means for this user I am denying S3, I am attaching S3 Denny policy, right? For that purpose, I am giving the name as S3 Denny user. Here, provide user access to the AWS Manage console. I am clicking that option. Here, I want to create an IAM user. This specify user in identity center is right. This will comes in AWS organizations concept, guys. For that, you leave this option. You just click, I want to create IAM user. I click that I want to create IAM user. Here, in the previous two cases, I used this auto-generated password, right? Auto-generated password means AWS will generate the password automatically for this whatever user we are creating. For that user, AWS automatically it will generate one passport and it will give it to us and we have to use that passport to log in. But in the previous two cases I selected and show you how auto generated passport will work. Now I will show you custom passport creation. Custom passport creation now I will show you. Mm, Here, instead of selecting the auto-generated passport, I am selecting custom passport here. In the place of this custom passport, I have to give one passport with these characters. With these characters, I have to must be 8 characters and symbols and uppercase and lowercase and numbers I have to give. I am creating one passport. this is the this is the my own passport, guys. This is the my own passport for this user called S3 Denny user. This S3 Denny user, I am creating one passport without selecting auto generated passport. And coming to this option, users must create a new passport at next sign in. At a next sign in. In previous two cases, in previous two cases, I shown you what exactly this option looks like. Users must create a new passport. Once, once the this process all is doing by admin, right? I am the team leader of the project and I am assigning the permission for one user called S3 Denny permission. I am assigning one user and I am creating the one passport. This is my own passport. One passport I am giving, assigning to that user. And after creating this user with this permission, I am assigning this user to I am giving this passport and username credentials to that user. I am assigning to I am assigning the passport credentials and username credentials to this user. After this user, after giving to this user will do this user will log in based on the username and passport. Based on the username and passport, this new user will log in. While logging this user with this username and password, if you click this option tick mark means he after while he was logging with these credentials, he can create his own passport. He can create his own passport while he is logging with these two credentials. And the next time, this is the first time login, right? And if you are logging with one more time, second time, you no need to use this passport. You no need to use this passport. You can use your own passport. I mean, whatever passport he created, this user got created his own passport, right? We have to log in with username this one and passport this one. We have to log in with these two credentials. This passport is not required for the second time login. I hope you got it, guys. That is the option. These users must create a new passport at next sign in. This option I shown you in before two cases. Now, in this case, I am unchecking this option. I am unchecking this option and I am clicking this next button here. Next, I am clicking Next, I am clicking. Here it is asking permissions options, guys. Here it is asking add user to group. We are not performing this option right now. And to copy the permissions, we are also not performing this option. And attach policies directly. We have to attach policy directly. This one we are doing right now. I am attaching the policy for this user. See, in previous cases, in previous video, here I selected S3 full axis. I selected. This is the this is the AWS. This is the AWS managed policy. This is AWS managed policy, and I selected that EC2 full axis. EC2 Flex. This one also, this one also AWS managed policy. This one also AWS managed policy. But in this case, in this video, I have to select whatever policy I created by my own, that policy I have to select here. That policy I have to select here. Now I am searching what policy I created right now. S3 Denny, S3 Denny policy. See, here you got it. S3 Denny policy. I hope you got it, guys. S3 Denny policy. Now I am clicking this S3 Denny policy. S3 Denny policy I am assigning to that user, new user, and I am clicking the option called next option. Next option I am clicking. See, here username is S3 Denny user. Passport is custom passport. Passport reset is no. This is the policy I am providing to S3. These are the tags option, or you can give is tags also. And here it is showing create user. I am creating the user. See, this is the user name and this is the password. Now, now I will open new. Now I will open new browser and I will log in with this username and password, and I will show you that policy is working or not. That policy is working or not, that I will show you now. AWS console login, sign in, sign in, IAM user, uh, IAM user, IAM user, here it is. IAM user is this username I have S3 Denny user. I am copying this S3 Denny user and I am mentioning here S3 Denny user, S3 Denny user. And passport, here I created one passport. This is the passport, right? I am copying this passport and I am assigning here that passport. And I am clicking this sign in option. I am clicking the same. See, here, this username is S3 Denny user. I hope you saw this. And this username is admin user. This is the my main admin user. And I created one user called S3 Denny user. And I log in with that S3 Denny user here. This is the S3 Denny user. And if you want to check that the policy is working perfectly or not, we have to go to S3. Why? Because only S3 means there in the policy, I provided S3 Denny actions, right? We have to check whether S3 is allowing for this user or it is denying for this user. You have to check. See, now I am opening S3 resource. I am opening S3 resource here. Here it is showing the create bucket. Create a bucket, it is nothing but a folder, creating the folder. Here, bucket name, any name you can mention, but that name should be random. It not should be entire wall, it will not be same. It will compare to the entire world. It will compare. That name should not be same. Suppose if you type my name, if you type my name, bucket name must be unique within the global gnome space and follow the bucket naming rules. See, bucket name must be unique within the global namespace. Entire global, it will check whether this name is already there or not. If it is not there, you can do whatever you can. If it is there, you have to change your name. Now I am creating this. Now I am creating this create bucket option. You skip all these options, guys. These all options I will explain you when coming to come to that S3 resources, S3 module. Come to that S3 module, there I will explain you. You just understand the concept related to IAM module only. You just understand the concept related to IAM module. Here I provided one random name and I am creating the bucket here. Just create bucket. See guys, what it is showing. Now I hope you got it guys. To create a bucket, the S3 create a bucket permission is required. Permission is required. We provided policy called S3 Denny policy we provided. In this S3 Denny policy, we attached one permission called S3 permission in the Denny mode. We are not allowed S3 for this user. We are attached Denny or in the S3 service for this user. So he is not able to create his own buckets. He cannot perform anything in the S3 module. I hope you got it, guys. What exactly policy, how exactly policy is going to work. Here, what I did, here I created my own policy. I created my own policy I created. For this policy, I attached one service called S3 service I attached. After attaching this S3, I am I choose the option called Denny option. Instead of instead of allow option, instead of allow option, I choose Denny option here and I created one policy and this create this policy, my own policy attached to that user and I am checking, I attach it for this user and I check whether it is working or not. It is working effectively, efficiently. Suppose in the place of Denny, in the place of Denny, if I give allow means, in the place of Denny, if I give allow means, it will allow that. Here it will give, here it will not show this error. Here it will not show this error. If I give uh, allow, if I give allow in place of Denny, in place of Denny, if I give allow, it will show, it will not show this error, guys. I hope you got it what exactly the Denny option and how to create our own policy and how to attach our own policy to that our own user. I hope you got it guys what exactly that Denny option and creating policy and attaching your own policy to the user. This is what we did. I created one user and my own passport I provided here. Instead of auto-generated passport, I provided own passport. Here, instead of AWS managed policy, I gave own policy here. Custom policy I created and I log in with that user. I log in with that user and I check that user is working with this policy or not. With this policy or not, here I check it is working effectively. This is what I want to tell in this video, guys. That's all for today, guys, in this video. In tomorrow video, guys, in tomorrow video, what I will do means same thing I will perform like I will create one user and I will assign one passport I will assign for this user and I will give policy. Here also I will create my own policy with conditions. With the condition I will create my policy. Now at present what we did, without the condition we created only policy, but here with the condition I will create my own policy, and I will log in with that user, and I will show you with this condition is working. Whatever permissions we provided in this policy, that condition is working or not, I have to check. Here condition is nothing but condition is nothing but suppose if you want to work in only in Mumbai region, if you want to work in only in Mumbai region, in the place of condition, you can mention region also. Here, if you place Mumbai region for S3 service, this S3 service will work. It will work only in it will work only in Mumbai region only. If it in this condition, if you mention Mumbai region is, I want to work in another region, not Mumbai region means, in Mumbai region, this S3 service will not work. Not only S3 guys, if you want to give for EC2 also you can give. If you want to give for RDS module also you can give. For if you give S3 means you can check easily. Just clicking create bucket, you can know the output whether it is working or not. That is the reason why I am taking only S3 instead of EC2. If you take EC2 means again you have to go create one instance and you have to check whether it is time taken process, and that will you will not understand that right now. So I am taking here S3 for understanding easy. This is all about condition, guys. That I we will do tomorrow. We will do tomorrow that condition. Thank you guys for listening my video. If you like my video, guys, please subscribe to my channel. And those who are looking to learn AWS and Python, please share my channel to your friends, guys. They can also learn in a easy way with free full course. They can learn with free of cost, guys. Thank you, guys. Bye. See you tomorrow, guys. See you tomorrow. Let's end up this session.